colours are you doing?
Oh, yes. Well, have I started? Oh, I better get going. So, we back in the 1970s, when I was a small child, and it was very fashionable for a while for people having their back gardens on a post, brightly coloured plastic weather vane that looked a bit like a windmill. Yeah. Do you remember? Oh yeah, well, everybody was too young to remember. It was like a weather vane, so it pushed it whichever direction the wind was blowing, and it was shaped like a windmill. And there was the windmill part at the front, the fan that went round, and attached to the fan was a very thin metal crank thing. And at the back of the thing was a little plastic man, brightly coloured plastic man with a brightly coloured plastic axe with a brightly coloured plastic tree stump at his feet. And the wind went round, and the fan went round, and the crank went round, and the man would try and chop the stump of wood between his feet. And the faster the wind blew, the faster and faster. And I would have felt very sorry for the man, because the axe never actually touched the wood. So he was never. I was thinking, I'm getting very hot doing this. I think, poor man, I'm getting very hot. It's good on I'm hot, because I'll never start a fire with this. And there was also a man. The other version was a man winding up water from a well. It was the well there, so he was winding up there, and he'd go faster and faster and faster. But the bucket never got to the top, poor man. And there wasn't even an opening at the top of the well for the bucket to come up. So he was thinking, oh, I'm getting very thirsty, but there's no sign of the bucket yet. So, eventually, quite soon, if it was too windy, it was too much for the crank, and the crank broke. So it used to say on the box, not to be placed in a windy environment. So eventually the crank would break and the poor man would be like that. And sometimes I feel, I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like a little broken, brightly coloured plastic man on a broken, brightly coloured plastic weather vane. Anybody else? I thought I wouldn't be the only one. I thought it might be Jane. And so when I was about 5 or 6, one summer, I really wanted one of these brightly coloured plastic weather vanes things. I think I was a little gay fella. I was a little gay child. I think we are attracted to brightly coloured plastic things that go around very quickly, which is why we've always supported the career of Kylie Minogue. So, it does mention the sea. I'm so old, I remember when going to Barry Island for the day was a big treat. So every year we went to Barry Island with the Sunday school in a charabanc, and this one year when I wanted the weather vane, we went to Barry. Dad came too. When we were on the beach at Barry Island. Oh, I say beach, on the mud at Barry Island. And my dad had a terrible job this year putting the deck chair up. Yeah, he just couldn't work out, and people started looking at him. He turned putting the deck chair up into a Site-Pacific contemporary dance theatre. He could have got like an Arts Council grant for putting the deck chair up. And so in the afternoon we went to spend the morning on the beach, and in the afternoon we went up into Barry Island, which it's not far. It's not a long trip, and we went down to Barry Island gift shops. And I wanted to buy a brightly coloured plastic windmill. And my cousin Gary also came along with us. I wanted to buy a flick knife. Because you could definitely buy a flick knife in a Barry Island gift shop in the 1960s. Well, you wouldn't 1970s. Well, you wouldn't buy it. You'd hold them up at knife point with the one you bought the year before. So my cousin Gary was quite obsessed by flick knives when he was a younger fellow. And my dad used to say, "Oh, he was a local man, my dad. Here, I'm worried about that boy." Not me, he knew there was no point worrying about me. I'm worried, he's obsessed by flick knives. No good will come of that, no good will come. And now it's 50 years later, And no good. If no good's going to come, it's taking a long time to arrive for no good. Because my brother, my cousin Gary is a lovely man, and I don't know if he's obsessed by flick knives, but he does a lot of work for charity in the Forster team. He does a lot of work for the Cats Protection League, and you won't find any stray cats. Lots of leaves and collars on trees, but no. Or stray dogs, actually, anyone. Or census takers with or without their kidneys. No. And so my cousin Gary bought one of these brightly coloured plastic windmill weather vanes at the Barry Island gift shop. I couldn't find he found a flick knife, but I didn't find a brightly coloured plastic windmill weather vane.
Oh.
What's much this side now? And we went back to the farm, and next day I disappeared for a bit, and eventually my parents started looking for me, and they found me in the garden, crying. And I had my little tin wheelbarrow with me, and it was full of mud I found on the farm, and I'd been trying to make a brightly coloured plastic windmill weather vane with the contents of a child's toy wheelbarrow full of mud, and I hadn't managed it. And I feel in my life, all my life, I've been trying to make a brightly coloured plastic windmill weather vane out of the contents of a child's wheelbarrow full of mud. And, anybody else felt the same? Anybody else feel? Oh, I knew it was a train. There was some water in it, and mud and wind. All I needed was fire, and I'd have had all the elements in there. And well, thank you.